The show must go on. All right.
Indeed, and unless you got a couple that I've not seen.
Yeah, no, I don't. You
Um,
were actually the best I had. You were actually what I was counting on. 'Cause I'm like,
Damn.
fuck. There's been like nothing.
There ain't been a whole lot.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll last episode we did together. I was like, don't worry about it. You know, tangents are fine, and that's kind of what I kind of enjoy about the show. We never did the Epic agrees to pay a fuck ton of money to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission.
Fuck ton, not to them.
Yeah.
I figure we can cover that too.
Yeah.
They'll at least give us 3 stories.
Yeah, we never. That was something we mentioned like way earlier. Yeah, like pre-Christmas. Yeah. That was pre-Christmas that we mentioned that one. That was like right after the Live a Live pictures in our chat.
Yeah.
Of one of your favorite characters.
Gory's just fucking fantastic.
The fucking monkey.
I love how for the remake they didn't change anything about his look other than making him more ripped.
More ripped. The more ripped ape. Oh goodness. All right, we're good. I'm recording.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope everyone's had a happy, I guess a Merry Christmas first off, right? Yeah, good Christmas. I'm gonna keep it
Good
real.
Christmas, whatever holidays are celebrated.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. This holiday was fucking rough for me. Putting aside the fact that I worked both Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, like let's take that and just put that to the side. All right? So just take that shit, put that shit off to the side. We had a storm roll through the Friday before Christmas, like the Friday before Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm sure you are aware, because I know you've worked grocery at some point in your life.
Yep.
When there's a storm...
Oh, yes. Inclement weather. There goes all the bread, milk, and eggs. The bread and milk aisle's gone.
Fucking destroy.
Every time.
A fucking Guilty Gear finisher. Destroyed.
Like, Rezo, you know I'm from the South. The moment a single snowflake appears or is reported to have been seen within the Tri-County area, the entirety of the state forgets how to drive, goes to the grocery store, buys all the milk, bread, and eggs, and then immediately proceeds to the gas station and fills up their car, their friend's car, a 300-gallon thing of gasoline, gets some kerosene, and assumes the worst.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what happened here. Was it bad here? Yeah, it wasn't great. Like, I think the highest the temperature got on Friday was -10.
Damn.
That was the highest. That was the high. I didn't go out much Friday except to like take garbage out.
I wonder why.
Yeah, to take like the most I went out is to go out the back door of my apartment building to take out the garbage. That was it. That was.
I'm be real. At -10, I'd be saying fuck doing that. That can wait until it's at least 0.
That was as far as I took it. I didn't go much further than that.
I'll just put the garbage near the door. The cold temperature will keep it cold and frozen.
So what surprised me the most, I think, was that like people panicked like the entire week up until Friday, and people continued to panic all the way through fucking Christmas because the store was stupid busy. Stupid busy. We were busy Christmas Eve.
Inclement weather and the holiday.
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
I do not envy
Christmas Eve.
What you had to put up with.
Christmas Eve was busy as fuck. But I got to work that with my actual manager, so it was busy but funny. So I had a good laugh, so that was good. And then Christmas Day was just busy and not funny because my assistant manager spent the entire day complaining that he had to work Christmas Day the entire day. The same thing he did last year when he had to work Christmas Day. And he spent the day complaining. Look, I'm not saying that like his life is fair or that the job is fair. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you chose to be a manager. You chose
Yeah.
to be a manager,
This
dog.
comes with the territory. If you think it's bullshit, you have to work on Christmas. I'm sorry to inform you, that's the job.
Yeah, that's part of the job you signed up for. Like, I don't know what this fair nonsense you're rambling on about every fucking year. I gotta listen to you whine and moan about how you gotta be here on Christmas like you got plans. No, everyone got plans, dog. You think I want to be there? Like, what? You think I want to be here too? Like, I want to be here from like noon till like 6:45 because we didn't get to leave on time because people are stupid and did not leave the store. Bro, listen, we closed at 6 Christmas Day, all right? There are still, half the store is still full. My manager does a call. It is 6 o'clock. We are closed. Take your stuff to the front and get the fuck out. People are still in the store. 6:15. It is 6:15, motherfuckers. We are closed. Take your shit to the front of the store. People are still in the goddamn store. It is 6.
I'm gonna be real. That's the moment. At 6:16, I would go over the intercom and say, "If you are not at the front of the store, we are locking the doors at 6:25.
We are locking.
If you're still in here, enjoy your Christmas. We'll see you when we get back."
Yeah, you was always on some like extra shit though, cause you probably
Nah, fuck that shit. You are not gonna lollygag in the store at closing on Christmas. Fuck off.
Yeah, how you like?
We got shit to do.
Yeah, so that was.
And if I see somebody, if I would have an employee standing at the door, the only door open, and if somebody went to come in and be like, "Nah, we're closed. Leave."
Yeah, we're closed.
But there's people in there. That don't make a fuck. See that sign?
Yeah.
Says 6:15 we closed. Look at this watch.
Yeah.
6:16 we closed.
Yeah, we
Leave.
closed. Yeah, it's over.
We're not taking anybody else. We're trying to get people out of here, not bring people in.
Yeah, we're not.
Because
Yeah.
working grocery, I've seen that shit. People show up like 1 minute before closing.
Yeah, I know people do that a lot.
Or like 1 minute before closing, or even better, 10 minutes after, and they're like, "But people are in line. People are in there." That don't make a fuck. We're trying to get them out, not bring people in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of people. I'm not trying to like service more
Sucks
people.
to suck. You should have been here. You should have been here a half hour or more ago. The internet exists. You could have looked up our closing hours.
Yeah, basically. So that was cool. On a non-work related note, I've taken the initiative, and I strain the word initiative because I need you to understand that my motivation for doing what I'm doing is more of a personal initiative than like a overall I need to do this. I'm taking a course to learn Adobe Premiere, the editing program.
Okay.
Which
Sounds good.
yeah. It's a big course.
I mean, even though I hate Adobe, like with a passion, like it's fine. I understand that they are what they are for a reason, and their products do work well.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right?
I say work well, but yeah.
Here's the thing.
They're the industry standard.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Right there. They're industry standard. Like
You want a job in the industry? Congrats, you have to know this. And not only do you have to know this, you have to both be able to prove you know it, and you have to have someone else saying you know it.
Yeah, so I was like, and then the bigger problem I was having is that there aren't a lot of ways for me to gain more knowledge using Vegas, because there's not a lot of resources out there. Like, if you want to find a course to learn Adobe Premiere, there's hundreds of them. You want to find a course to learn, like, the intricacies of Vegas? Yeah.
I mean,
they
exist, but nobody wants to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And once they've made it once, they're just gonna, 3-4 months later, it's completely useless if Sony decide to rework fucking Vegas's interface, probably.
Yeah. So I sat down and started for about 2 hours going through this the first chapter of this course. Learning the interface, learning things. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. Yeah, I got like a decent grasp on this. And then I'm like, yo, this course gonna be. Then I saw how long the intro, like this is like the beginning course, right? There's 2 courses. There's this one, and then there's the advanced course. I'm like, yo, nigga, I got this. How long could this course possibly be? Bro, it's like 7 chapters, nigga. Like the fuck. Learning ain't easy. Damn. All right.
Over here complaining about 7 chapters. Me finally deciding to learn Japanese. Finally deciding to pick it up on video 20 of 93 after 2 months.
Video 20 of 93. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's how.
And fun note, none of this is for vocabulary.
Oh. Oh no.
All of it's grammar.
Oof.
Not as bad as I thought. To be fair, the videos are between 10 and 20 minutes.
Okay, that's not.
That being said, while the video is between 10 and 20 minutes, they're designed with the idea of the video may be 10 minutes, but it's going to take you a half hour because you're probably going to be pausing to either take notes or go back and check or what the fuck this is actually and try and figure out how this works. I'll explain to the best of my ability, and I will explain very clearly, like what I'm going through, which is Kurodali's set, for anyone that's curious on YouTube, is very good so far. I'm starting to get a handle and recognize shit better. But, like, there's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of, like, you want to learn a language? You're learning the fucking language.
Yeah, learning a language is like
that's
great...
not a... Yeah.
Yeah. That's...
Especially when it's like, oh, learning a language is not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad when it's another Latin language.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you have to drag up like an entirely different culture of people and how they spoke for generations and figure out how they figured out how to communicate, things become a little more complex.
Yeah, just a touch more complex. On the video game front, before I pass it over to you, Soul, I haven't mentioned, man, Chrono Trigger is so good. Goddamn. I love it.
I find it very unlikely to believe that especially anyone watching your content has never heard you mention Chrono Trigger is ridiculously good. That's like, there's hot takes and then there's no one is surprised this is in the Arctic takes.
Yeah, look, there's a lot
You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that said Chrono Trigger's bad that likes RPGs.
There's one person, one mutual friend of ours, who's like lukewarm on Chrono Trigger.
Lukewarm is fine.
Yeah, there's only one. One mutual friend of ours who I know for sure because he said it himself that he's lukewarm on Chrono Trigger.
Okay, that's fair. Like I said, lukewarm I can understand, but like there's shit. I'm lukewarm about Mario 64. You heard it, people. But even I'll admit, like it's a good game. I have problems with it. And yes, I love DK64. Figure that the fuck out.
I'm gonna be honest, man. That's tough.
I'm gonna be real, I just find the characters and world more interesting in DK64.
You would.
Even if it asked me to do monotonous fucking tasks at times,
you would.
I will fully admit.
You would. That checks for you. That checks.
Listen, if you ask me which I want to hang out with, Mario or Lanky Kong, I know who I'm picking.
You're picking the ape. I'm
picking Lanky Kong.
I'm picking the ape. But yeah, the thing is, I've kind of taken an approach in Chrono Trigger to like not necessarily just go where I need to go to, but like talking to characters and like figuring it out like in a more organic sense.
Oh yeah, because it's still at that point in time where like
you could like
it's following the old Dragon Quest style, so where NPCs had a lot of useful info.
Yeah, so I could talk to people and then they'll tell me something and I'm like, that's where we need to go. Haha. And like there's all these little things that the game has done that I'm like, man, I really did not appreciate this the last time I attempted to play this game, did I? Because last time I have never actually beaten it. I've gotten close, but like many things in my life, I just never finished it because of reasons.
Rip.
Yeah. But I don't think this is as egregious as Final Fantasy X is, though. I think 10's the most egregious I've ever been in not finishing a video game. I think 10's the most egregious.
Depends on how you define egregious. I would say not finishing either one. Chrono Trigger's shorter. Yeah. But 10's more straightforward.
Yeah, okay, Chrono Trigger...
like, not finishing either one's kind of like,
Chrono Trigger is shorter, but I was at Xanarkand the last time I played 10, and I just stopped playing. And there's not
so you
much...
like halfway through the... Nah. You most of the way through the game.
Yeah, like, at that point, like, I should have just finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
By the time that you're at Xanarkand, like you got, not counting cutscenes, like 4 hours
yeah, you don't have
at
that much
tops.
left.
Not counting cutscenes.
I should have just fucking
It's really
finished it.
just
That's
few cutscenes, get on airship, the final showdown with Sin.
yeah. So the more I've played Chrono Trigger, the more I've realized a few important uh how do I say natural laws of reality that are the Chrono Trigger universe. One, Frog with the hero badge equals crit machine, and two,
Yeah.
Isla could crush my head between her thighs. She is just that strong. That's just
I have a feeling that's not connected to her strength that you've chosen this specific pose.
I don't know, man. Every enemy she fights, she hits super hard. I'm pretty sure she could crush my head pretty easily. The one.
Yeah. But it was the between the thighs part that you focused on.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. That I'm not. Yeah.
I'm fairly sure she could do it with just a headlock.
Yeah, probably. I don't doubt it. Yeah, like
Isla hits hard, but
no, you're right.
not really a surprise.
Yeah, not really surprising. So I think I know what my team is going to be. I think it's going to be Isla, Frog, and Chrono, because
As normal, Frog, everyone, like, I'm making a party. Okay, so it's Chrono, Frog, and who? Listen, at a certain point, everyone accepts they're putting Frog in their party. Because he's really good and he's a really likable character, so eventually everyone ends up putting him in.
I initially wasn't going to have Frog. I was going to have Robo, but Robo's kind of fucked me these last few sections of the game, where like things don't really take damage from Shadow.
Yeah.
It's the Shadow thing that fucks me. It's not like Robo hits like a truck and he has good usage. It's just Frog and his crits.
I mean, all the characters in the game are honestly good to use.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to use any character in the game, all of them are pretty solid.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all good. They're all good. It's just, pick your poison. How about you?
Yeah, there's no 3-person combination that becomes terrible. What did I run?
Oh, no, just you in general. How's it been going on, man? Like, what have you been up to?
Oh.
Just fuck, man.
I've been mostly okay. I've been pretty busy overall. Been playing different stuff. I've been playing Valheim some with Faye. And that's eaten up a lot of time. Just because of how Valheim is.
I just assumed because you don't know moderation.
Oh, well, no, I don't know moderation, but besides that fact, like, it's like a lot of survival building style games, there's a lot of time sunk into it to get moderate reward at best.
Yeah, makes sense.
Besides that, still play a little God Hand, still play a little Live and Live, which kind of fallen off. I need to get back on that. I'm not feeling the section I'm in, and a part of me feels like I should like it, but I'm just kind of lukewarm on this section.
It happens. That's the issue when you have multiple stories. You're gonna hit at least one that you don't like. The closest analogy I have for this is Octopath, and it was honestly Ophelia's. I was like, I don't really...
I like Ophelia's act. Okay, correction. I like the end of Ophelia's path.
I like I like generally what they're trying to establish with Ophelia, right? Like I like that, but like the overall journey she goes on, I wasn't really into. I can kind of say the same for like Alphen, but like with Alphen, I was more interested. Like once you got past like his second chapter, the game takes on a really interesting dichotomy with him, where it's like, the person in need of my help is a bad person, right?
Yes.
And as a doctor, it is my responsibility to heal people. But if I heal this person, there is a strong chance he is still going to do bad things.
Yes, and that is one of the things that frustrates me with Octopath Traveler as a game. There are parts of Octopath Traveler that scream there's a good idea and a good story here, but I feel like, especially because the 8 individual narratives
Mm-hmm.
are all structured into 4 chapters and have like little to no crossover with each other, what ended up happening is they made 8 different stories in the same world, and none of those 8 stories got the full breathing room they deserved or needed.
Yeah.
The closest to getting the full breathing room is Primrose.
Yeah, because she goes through an arc.
Primrose, there's not a single chapter in all of Primrose's story that's like a slow or dead chapter.
No, because
I would say like the first chapter for Ophelia is at best some setup, and then like chapter 2 and 3, not that much really happens until like the very end of chapter 3.
Yeah.
And then chapter 4 is interesting for Ophelia.
Yeah. So, like, there are elements of it that I dug of each character. Like, Alphen, I thought that chapter was really interesting in a sense of, like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. As a doctor, you might have to deal with this. And Alphen being now a traveling doctor, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that dichotomy, right? Of, my job is to keep people alive. What if person is bad person? Do I let this person die? And you know Alphen's a good person. So, like, you know he's not gonna just...
Well, it's not even just he's a good person, because I feel like you could argue letting that person die in order to save other people's lives in the future could be seen as a good act. It's debatable.
Yeah.
At least. But with Alphen, he's tender-hearted.
Yeah.
So he's not willing to let anyone die if he can help it. And I do believe there is credit to be shown, like, between the two, letting the guy die or actually helping him despite being a bad person, I do feel the better thing morally is to help him despite that fact.
Yeah.
Because it is not the doctor's job to make sure the criminal
is punished,
doesn't commit crime.
Yeah.
It's society's job.
Right. My job, yeah.
To both punish or to punish, prevent, and help regulate crime.
Right.
If someone's a fucking problem and it's known to be a problem, if no one deals with it, there you go. Now, this does get more muddy and mixed with the world of Octopath, because there's not, like... Governments in Octopath almost don't exist.
Yeah, basically.
They almost don't exist. The closest to a government is, I think it's in its last chapter, that fucking kingdom that's in the sand.
Yeah.
Marceline, that's the one. I'd just check it.
But
check
yeah,
what it was.
so that's my take. That's my take is that if, you know, out of the 8, I kind of enjoyed them all for what they were. Surprisingly, it was Tressa I didn't think I'd enjoy. Tressa was the one...
Yeah, I think that's the one that sneaks up on everyone.
Tressa was the one I was like, this seems real. Before I played it, I'm like, I don't really think I'm gonna vibe this, because everything leading up to the game barely told you anything about her.
Yeah.
Right? You knew nothing about her. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this. But honestly, by the end of it, I'm like, that was wholesome as fuck.
Yeah, look, I think Tressa's an example of writing that works for that style of game, in my opinion. The reason why is because the fact that if you look at Tressa at the start and Tressa at the end of the story, she is intrinsically not changed that much. Like, she has a better worldview and a deeper understanding of the world, but she is a person who has been static. Yeah. And this is one of the few times a static character arc is fine. It worked well because it's not about her. Her story is about the world.
Yeah.
Which makes it far more interesting and also lends itself well to the chapter format they did, because each chapter is seeing a whole different part of the world.
Yeah.
And her helping people as a merchant in that part of the world. So it works.
And one of the things I was let down by was, like, so you have these small little moments in chapters where you read the characters trying to talk to each other, or they have these crossover moments.
Oh yeah, the fucking party chat moments.
Yeah, and one of the things I was kind of hoping would have happened is if you had Therian and Tressa together. Because I feel like there's a conversation those two could have.
Oh, there's a few of them. A lot of the conversations between Therian and Tressa are really interesting.
Yeah, there's...
Like, if anything, the problem with Octopath to me is not its character writing. I think all of its characters are really good. The problem with Octopath is the fact that they wanted to make more epic stories for some of these characters, and either they fell flat on it, or they just kind of, due to the structure of the game, it hindered their potential, like Ophelia's.
Right.
Or Cyrus's. Cyrus and Ophelia, I think, both suffer from the fact that the way the chapter system works, and most of the characters, I played chapter 1 through 4 back to back. So I gave it its best chance to be a consistent narrative across them.
I played them for my...
And it just...
I played them for my channel, like all the chapter 1s, chapter 2s, and then by the time I got to chapter 3s, I finished them. I kind of just said, okay. I went back in order. I had chapter 3, chapter 4 together, chapter 3, chapter 4 together for each of the characters.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do them.
So that's how I did it, and I'll be honest, yeah, like, I didn't find Hanitz to be that big of a letdown. Honestly, one of my favorite moment in Hanitz's story is still here in the chapter 3 with the dragon, because the reaction that she has to it is the same as me. I'm like, oh fuck, that's a dragon. Oh shit.
Well, that's what I'm talking about with, like...
Oh shit, that's a dragon.
The character writing is fine, but Hanitz's plot is...
Oh, don't get me started on that chapter 4 boss fight, though. Fuck that boss. That boss fucked me so
It's funny because that boss is my favorite part of Hanitz's entire story and is one of my favorite parts of the game.
Okay.
Especially...
Here's the thing, though. It never...
Did you go for the true final boss?
No.
Or no?
No, I just completed all 8 stories. By the time I got to that point, I just wanted the game fucking over. I'll be honest with you.
I don't blame you. Going for the true final boss and the 8 bosses right before him that are mandatory every time you want to take an attempt at the true final boss, that is a terrible design choice, full stop. I won't get into that too far, but just know that. That actually explains what the fuck Red Eye is.
I had an idea.
Which makes Red Eye way more interesting.
I already had an idea what Red Eye is, but...
I'll put it this way. Not just what, but who Red Eye is.
Yeah. So...
Which lends itself like, oh, okay, now I know why Red Eye can petrify shit.
Yeah, he never petrified
and why that's such a big deal. Yeah, it's pretty rare from what I understand because he didn't petrify me either. He can do it. He just
you want to know why he beat me so many times? Because he would roar and stun all my characters for multiple turns and then just murder me in those turns. Yep. So I had to reconfigure my entire party to be resistant, not immune, by the way, not immune, resistant to that nonsense. I hate that shit so much. I really do.
Yeah, unconscious is a fucking annoying status.
I hate it.
It's annoying, but from a balance standpoint, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Because as long as it doesn't hit your entire party for 2 to 3 turns...
But it did!
You can deal
every
with it.
Time! Every time!
Yeah, it has a chance of inflicting. That's the shit part.
What did you tell me, Soul? There was one thing you've taught me throughout the years. Everybody, please pay attention. Soul, your words, exactly. Odds do not matter if your luck is shit.
Yeah, it's true. If your luck is shit, then it doesn't matter if it's a 1 in fucking 100. If you just get screwed on that 1 in 100 over and over.
Your words, Soul. Your words.
Yeah, credit where it's due, though. At least Octopath is a good enough game to be like, alright, so... luck might screw you here, but here are the tools to make sure luck is not as much a factor.
Yeah, maybe we can put luck slightly in your favor. Alright.
You can either outright prevent it. I forget what... Does he do something if you become immune to it?
I don't think he...
unconscious immune effect?
I don't think he does. I don't think he does anything particularly dangerous if you resist it. But the thing is, he was hitting me like I attempted this boss like 4 or 5 times before I finally switched it up and figured out how to get away from that. Because I was like, the first time I died, I'm like, okay, I wasn't being aggressive enough. Second time I died, he did it again. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm fighting him wrong. And then by like the third or fourth time, I'm like, okay, he's not petrifying me. He's just not doing that. The thing that I was...
I'll be honest, that's the biggest bait in the game.
Yeah, the thing I was...
He can petrify, but he just...
doesn't.
So, you know, as a heads up, he only does it when he's less than half health.
Okay, that makes... Yeah.
Which is, in my opinion, one of the big reasons no one sees it. Because if you've got him to half health, you're probably set up now, and he's terrified for his fucking life, because Alfin's sitting here like, okay, Tressa, go ahead, murder him.
Tressa, we have money. Summon
At which point Tressa just goes, thank you, and he just dies.
Yeah, he just gets fucking obliterated.
Alfin breaks that game wide open, by the way.
It wasn't Alfin that broke the game for me, though. Alfin, I actually had a hard time finding a niche for Alfin.
He doesn't need a niche. His secondary effect that lets him combine herbs and shit and make extra effects just gives him so much versatility.
Yeah.
That, like,
I just didn't...
the ability to just give BP to your whole party.
Yeah,
consistently.
I didn't take advantage of that the way
You didn't experiment with that.
No, I really didn't. No, I admit it, I didn't. I'm not...
Oh, that's fully understandable. The moment you find that out, Alfin goes from okay to oh lord. Remind me again, Cyrus, what can you do? I show you one weakness of the enemy. Thanks, you're out.
Thanks. Go sit on the bench for a while, buddy. All right.
Remind me again, what can the rest of you do?
So, there weren't a lot of things going on this week.
Yeah.
Or it's going on the last...
It's been a quiet couple... Yeah,
going on the last couple weeks. But there were some little things that came up throughout the 2 weeks. And one of them was Final Fantasy XVI's ESRB rating is mature.
Yes.
It's mature. The first time a mainline Final Fantasy game, I want to make that clear, a mainline Final Fantasy game has been rated M. And for those of you who might be thinking to yourself, well, I mean... that's not really that big of a deal. It's kind of a big deal for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, I would think, has always kind of had the benefit of being teen, which means you can sell potentially to a much larger audience. Because nobody needs an ID to buy a teen game, to buy a rated teen game, right? You need an ID if the store's playing by the rules to buy an M-rated game. I'm not going to say which store does not play by the rules, but there are 2 stores in my area that I know don't play by the rules. They don't care who they sell the games to. They will bypass the check at the register and just sell it to you. I know this. I've seen them do it. But yeah, in particular, it seems some of the places... So it seems like this is going to be that game for Square. Square's really leaning into it. And the more I've seen of Final Fantasy 16, the more I'm like, damn. Y'all ain't fucking around with this.
There is definitely some interesting stuff being shown in 16. I have some minor reservations, but those are mostly just because I'm like... I'm worried you're going to turn this into Kingdom Hearts, and we're gonna have the fucking rides effectively when it comes to combat for this summon bullshit. This looks like more movie than game, and the more you've shown me when it involves that, it looks more movie than game. But if that becomes the case, oh well, whatever. Final Fantasy has stopped being RPG combat completely at this point, so...
Yeah. I think Final Fantasy has been in that weird spot, I think, just as a franchise. Because you got to kind of remember that Final Fantasy for a bit was kind of getting snubbed by shit like Tales for a bit there. Like the 3D Tales games for a while. The 3D Tales games, especially like Zillia and a few others.
Oh, you mean when Square released no fucking Final Fantasy games after 10 for a while, and then they put out 10-2, and people were like, yeah, this gameplay is great, but the story and world are kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And then they put out Final Fantasy 11, which, to be fair, I think was 11 before 10-2? I'd have to check on dates on that. That may actually be the case. But then Final Fantasy 12 came out, and the entire fan base divided immediately.
Oh, dude. The 12, holy crap. You want to talk about dividing the Red Sea with a fucking single ass game.
Yeah, but for those that weren't around in the community or didn't play the original Final Fantasy 12, if you've played the Zodiac Age and you're like, but 12's a really good game, that's Zodiac Age.
Yeah,
Base 12 is a different beast.
Yeah, Base 12 is not the game that you played.
There are similarities, but Base 12, I stand by, is unfinished. In Zodiac Age, which, for those that don't know, is based off the IZJS version released in Japan, which was on the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the finished version of the fucking game. I'm still convinced the game was not done when they put it out.
No, well,
at least on a gameplay perspective.
I think just looking at if you look at like YouTube reviews of like the original 12, or people who look back on the original 12 like years ago versus people who played like the Zodiac Age now, sentiments changed. People's opinions of the game have widely changed just based off of Zodiac Age alone. So I think that kind of speaks for itself.
I do think that 12 may have gotten a bad rap because of how different it was compared to a lot of prior Final Fantasies. And for those that want to point out, like, but Final Fantasy has changed its combat engine almost every game. Yes, it has. I will concede that point, that it has changed its combat engine every time. But one key factor is the strategic turn-based gameplay. And I must put strategic in air quotes because I'm well aware not all of them are very difficult and require strategy. And sometimes you can just mash your face on the attack button and it work. I'm well aware.
Yeah, basically.
I'm not going to dispute that that was an option, but it was by far not the only option. And now, while that's definitely not an option in 12, the original Gambit system did not help with that idea because you kind of just started playing a movie after a bit. But due to the vast departure, I think that didn't help it. Not to mention the optics of that was the first main Final Fantasy Square Enix published.
Yeah.
Squaresoft published Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, Enix. The thing is, I don't know how much to correlate like the Square Enix merger with just, I don't know.
My point is that the optics. Some people, I'm sure, felt that like these vast changes were due to the merger, which is weird because both Square and Enix, you wouldn't have predicted this style of game after.
No, because like Enix, why would you? Like why would you?
Oh, and
why would you even?
I'll also address that our statements are on like the community overall opinion, because you cannot count the commercial or critical part of the game, because the game won a bunch of fucking awards and shit. But hey, look, a Square Enix title, better give it the only thing that exists as a game award right now.
I think
it's not Call of Duty didn't have a release, so I guess we give it to Square, right?
I think Square would have to make an actually terrible, like not even like a game that like slightly splits the community. They actually would have to make an unfinished, busted video game to such a point that even the Game Awards, without a Call of Duty game there that year, would give them the award. And even then, I'm only like partly sure they wouldn't get it. even then, Soul, I'm not 100% sure that they wouldn't still get it.
Yeah, you got a point. Boss Baby won an award too, so
Yeah, like
um.
since you said it, don't fucking.
But anyways, this was the original idea on this was that Final Fantasy 16 is getting a mature rating, which is the first mainline Final Fantasy to do so. Which, since you mentioned mainline, I had to check. Wait, which games got an immature rating before? I was like, oh yeah, Strangers of Paradise did. Yeah. Type 0. Oh, yeah, Type 0 did. Forgot about that one. Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah, most people have. Thank you.
I wonder why. But yeah, it getting an M rating, this is interesting because it means that Square has both confidence in the product and shows that they're not unwilling to look at the US audience and go ahead, rate it M. People are going to buy this anyways. Which, in theory, because one of the big problems for a while was after the big Grand Theft Auto controversy, and by which I mean the multiple. Because we start with like...
You start with GTA
really,
3, and you just keep...
We start kind of with 3, but then Vice City, it exploded into a problem. And then Hot Coffee happened with San Andreas. And now no one under 17 without an ID is allowed to buy a fucking M-rated video game. But it shows confidence that they have in the product to be like, we are letting our creators make what they want, at least in theory.
Mm-hmm.
And if it ends up being mature rated, we'll just back that. It's fine. Right. Now, I'd state this is probably in part due to more Western AAA releases getting rated M, because I'd have to double check. Isn't God of War Ragnarok also rated M? Yeah, and God of War itself?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I know the original series was rated M, so I just assume the whole series is.
I can look, but I highly doubt a God of War game would be rated T.
Yeah, I don't know of any of them that would make it to rated T. So, yeah. I think due to the popularity of some of the more Western AAA titles that are rated M, Square is like, clearly they will still make money, so sure, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's rated M.
Yeah, figured.
Yeah, it's rated M. I'd have my fucking brain blown out the other side of my head if it was rated T, honestly.
Imagine it rated E. So, unless you have something else to say on that, I'd like to move over to what the president had to say for this New Year's letter.
Oh, please. By all means.
Square Enix president Matsuda is still on that NFT train.
Do you think he knows about... Do you think he follows, like, the general news about NFTs?
Yeah. I don't know if he personally does, but he definitely has people that do so. I read through the letter.
Huh, okay.
Or at least a translation of the letter. Like, read through it, and either he's got someone else to write it for him, or he really huffs his own shit. Just saying.
He huffs his own farts really good.
Yeah. Because, like, he directly admits, like, oh, in the latter half of 2022, we saw a big downturn in NFT and crypto technology in terms of the market.
Yeah, okay.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, look! The cryptocurrency and NFT market are crashing. Oh, wow, look, it's crashing worse. It's almost like the whole thing was a speculative fucking bubble. It's almost like economists have been saying this for, I don't know, about a decade?
Yeah, basically.
And the NFT one, they've been saying it real hard, like, this one's gonna fall. This is a Jenga stack waiting to happen. So yeah, basically pushed like, oh hey, it's fair to state that blockchain technology got a lot of recognition in the field in 2022, as evidenced by Web 3.0 being a firmly established buzzword among business people. Motherfucker, business people are not who are buying your product.
Yeah, I was about to say, what business people are buying your video games?
They're not. They're investing in it, to be fair. And
Oh,
in my opinion, that's where a good chunk of this is from, in the push for it.
right.
But one of the things I want to focus on that really frustrates me, um, is, and this is, I think, I don't remember if it was mentioned as last year's letter, or I know I've seen it mentioned from him and Square Enix as well a couple of times.
Yeah,
The
no.
idea of story-focused NFTs.
Story-focused NFTs.
And I have just one question.
Oh, goodness.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that checks.
Like, no, I want a definition. Because you say that, and I look at NFT technology, and I go, what? What, are you gonna have, like, NFTs that are sentences of a book, effectively? Like, what is your point? Like, you're gonna have tradable NFTs so that someone has to buy multiple NFTs to get the complete story of your fucking game? I mean, I won't put it past you, Square. Final Fantasy 15 happened.
Yeah.
I'm aware that game had a fucking mess of a development, but I'm not at all convinced that there weren't parts of that game's story cut the fuck out to be DLC.
Yeah, a little bit.
There are a lot of important fucking things that happen in the DLC that makes the fucking main plot make a little more sense. So, just saying, I'm not putting it past you. But I really want to know what the fuck that would even mean. What does that look like? Or are you just spouting bullshit?
I think it's more buzzwords,
Because,
honestly.
yeah, like, that's the only thing I can think of. But the simple reality is when someone pushes a buzzword enough times and says they're going to make this, whether you like it or not, eventually that thing gets made.
Yeah.
Whether it's what you thought it would be or not is a completely different story. So at this point, it's like, I don't even know what to make of that statement. I don't know what to make of the concept of story-focused NFTs. The fuck is that? Can any of you, like, you have this symbiogenesis game that apparently is going to be your big NFT project.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing is like, yes, this is an NFT collectible art project where the participants will untangle the story. What the fuck do you mean? One, do you not understand how fucking the internet works? Unless you're going to tell me there are a billion, like, are you selling this game a letter at a time? Because otherwise, like, this is going to be figured out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be figured out in like a couple of hours, and it's gonna be all on YouTube by like the end of the day. Like there's gonna be an entire subsection of YouTube content specifically for this within like.
I mean, I imagine that is the point to some level. But at the same point, I have to stop it like, damn. Barrett is fucking disappointed in you, Square Enix. So disappointed. Like, goddamn, guys.
Here's what I don't get, and maybe I'm being naive here, right? Because like, I kind of want to know: has there been like, because the best I've ever seen from like the NFT market has been pump and dump schemes.
Yeah.
Right? But I haven't really seen anything on like I haven't really, and I don't really follow it that heavily. So maybe there have been projects, but I just haven't really ever thought of or seen a way that NFTs help gaming.
They don't.
I just don't see the value in it. Like, who?
Listen, there is literally one use I could come up with. The NFT, and this isn't health gaming, to be fair. This is like could be used with gaming. And that's to use verification on an account to allow you to actually trade products. Which that would be used in stuff like trading card games.
Right.
Things like that. Where you could have the actual rarity and then be able to sell the card like you can with a real life card.
But see, that wouldn't need NFTs though. That would just need the blockchain. That would just use like blockchain to like keep a ledger.
Well,
like...
NFTs are a part of the blockchain technology.
Yeah.
Full stop. NFTs are not the JPEGs.
Right.
Which is something people tend to mix up. It's just a token used for authentication. That's what the non-fungible token NFT is for. It's a token for verification. That's it.
Because I don't know, man. Like, I don't really see the value. Like, the technology, I think, could be cool or could be useful. Like, the back-end technology for how this stuff works.
Yes, the blockchain technology.
That I see utility in. But as far as, like, creating a collectible art project using NFTs, I don't really... This is, like, the same problem with, like, the whole play-to-earn thing.
Yep.
It's, like...
Which is also tied into it.
Which is, like...
It's the same exact problem.
Which is weird, right? Because either you're playing the game to make money, so the game probably isn't fun, or the game's already the fun, and I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't see utility. That's the problem. No one has managed to put this in a way to me that, like, either A, makes sense, or B, I guess mostly just makes sense. That's the problem. It just doesn't make sense.
The simple reality at the end of the day is, like a lot of monetization strategies, NFTs and blockchain technology will not make games better. You will not get better games from having this. Because even the example I gave, the Steam fucking store exists.
Steam.
TF2's been around for a while, guys.
Oh shit, yeah.
So has CS:GO.
I forgot about TF2.
So all you need is, and now the whole idea, air quotes, is, but this is decentralized. But it almost never is, because they make their own coin and own base that they regulate.
Yeah, it's
that
not.
Is air quotes decentralized.
Yeah, no, it's not. Especially if you're trading your own coin or an own token, that's not decentralized. I mean,
the simple reality is it's not decentralized if the currency cannot be exchanged for other relevant currency. It is no longer it's not useful.
Right.
This has been the problem that cryptocurrencies have run into for a long time, and why Bitcoin for a while was really pushing to allow like stores and stuff to let you purchase things with Bitcoin, because then Bitcoin becomes an actual fucking currency.
Right, with like actual value and like
bingo.
Yeah.
But that's the whole problem. And the NFT stuff with art, this is the art market all over again. This is just going to be money laundering schemes. Once again. And anyone who thinks it's not, you're fooling yourself. The art market's been rife with this shit for so long it's ridiculous.
Yeah, basically.
This is just the next logical step. This is just doing money laundering with extra steps. So it's harder to follow.
Yeah, that's...
And as long as they keep Yuji Naka out of it, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Wasn't he, like, indicted? He was indicted.
Mm-hmm.
Like... I gotta...
Yup.
Like, he's actually, like, on charges. Or I think he's almost...
Good. Listen, Yuji Naka, you fucked around and you're now finding out. That's the simple reality.
You were fucking around.
You tried to take the easy route.
You fucked around. And you inevitably found
Your best bet at this point is a plea bargain to sell out anyone else that went in cahoots with you on buying fucking shares while they were working at Square Enix.
Ooh, roll. Ooh, roll on him. Ooh.
That's your best fucking bet.
Ooh, he's gonna have to roll. He's gonna have to roll on some people. Well, I mean, if you want to talk about that though, the NFT market, that one trade market, FTX, you probably heard about it to some degree because it's been like on the news. Like the dude's girlfriend who ran that market, like rolled on him big time because they arrested him, his girlfriend, and like one of his partners, like one of his business partners. And brah, his girlfriend, she rolled on this motherfucker so hard. And I'm sitting up thinking, damn, there is no loyalty. But then I'm thinking to myself, like, bruh, like, if you sat me down in a fucking interrogation room and was like, you looking at 45 to 50, I'd be like, what you want to know?
There are no honor among thieves.
what you want to know? 45
That is
to
the simple reality.
45 to 50? Fuck, bro. Like, I'm selling somebody out. Somebody's getting sold upriver. Y'all can say I'm shifty, but I don't give a fuck. 45 to 50? I'm gonna walk out that bitch dead. The fuck? No. Ride or die? Why do
Nobody
I
got time for that.
Why I gotta ride with you and also die? Like, nah.
I mean, the idea is that you rode with them to start. If you got caught, you fucked up.
Yeah, right. I was already down to ride with you, right? So, yeah, I fucked up to begin with.
Yeah, you chose this path to start.
So I guess we'll wrap up with the Epic Games story. Epic Games fined for 520 million in FTC's Fortnite privacy case. The federal
the FTC have demanded that Epic Games put 2 pennies in their jar and get a minor slap on the wrist. Yes.
The FTC has fined Epic Games, maker of the popular Fortnite game, more than $500 million to settle allegation of privacy violation and unwanted charges. FTC also alleged that Epic Games used dark patterns or design tricks to dupe millions of players into making unintentional purchases. Per a release from the agency, the FTC alleged that Epic knew children were playing Fortnite and collected data from them without parental consent, and that its default settings were harming young users. Okay. I'm gonna have a moment real quick. All right.
Go for it.
I'm gonna have a moment. You remember like a year or two ago when like governments were going after fucking FIFA for like the My Team packs, and like
that sure lasted, huh?
And like, and their response was, "Oh, well, that's not a big deal. There's parental controls in our game and on the console to stop that from happening." And everyone just kind of looked at them and went, "Your game is rated E. Why the fuck do I need parental controls for a game rated E? What?" Like, at some point, I really don't like. All right, look, Epic Games in Fortnite exploits people. Yes, yeah, fine. We all get that. We're all on board. We understand how this works.
No one's debating that point.
Yeah, no one debates this, right? But what's the point? Like 520 million? Do you even think Epic Games even notices that on their ledger? What, you think you hurting them? 520 million? They don't notice.
Hey, look at it this way. Maybe they're finally actually paying taxes.
Yeah, maybe.
Because almost no big company does, because, that's weird. Why are they all based in, like, Switzerland?
Yeah, they're all based in, like, the Bahamas, Jamaica, or wherever else they can host their company, or wherever else they can have on paper that their company.
They own a building there, and now, that's our actual headquarters. We're based from there in reality, so we don't pay any taxes. Fuck off.
Epic has
Really,
also,
Activision Blizzard? Really?
Epic will also pay $240 million to refund customers for its dark patterns and billing practices.
Okay, so the refunds thing. Question on that.
Mm-hmm.
Who's getting that money? Is this actual fucking refunds? Because I get this sneaking suspicion, considering this case really started investigation in, like, I think 2017, that people aren't going to get directly refunded. First of all,
No.
how did you fucking find out about the individuals for this case? I'm sure a lot of this has been actual reports and FTC filings claimed.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not the people who are going to get that, most likely.
No.
Which is the real fucking problem.
Yeah, probably not. But, like, here's the thing, though. Like, the FTC doing this sounds great, but, like, nothing changes. Because anytime something tries to change the gaming market itself, what's it called? The ESA is like, no, it's not a problem. It's fine. It's fine. Taking this away would hurt the creativity in the market.
Okay, I'm gonna go be real. Everyone, I'm sure, knows that that's bullshit. If you make the argument that taking away loot boxes and microtransactions makes the game worse, then you've clearly never played a fucking video game.
Well, of course the ESA's never played a video
You've
game.
only played a fucking video slot machine.
What Epic is saying in regards to this, no developer creates a game with the intention of ending up here. A rep for Epic Games said in a lengthy statement outlined privacy measure the company has taken recently. Well, yeah, no criminal expects to get caught. Like,
yeah, I was about to say, fucking Jack the Ripper. I didn't expect anyone to be upset about all of those dead hookers.
Like not a single
what?
Not a single criminal in the history of criminality has ever been like, I didn't think I'd get here. What? Of course you. What criminal expects to get caught? Nobody. Not a single one.
It's not even just like expects to get caught. It's wait. So let me get this straight. Your argument here is, nobody wants to get caught. Okay. Firstly, what? No shit. And the fact that you had to phrase it that way already suggests some worrying concepts. But also, like, well, we didn't set out to create problems. Well, you sure as fuck succeeded. So, based on, like, looking through the case, why exactly did you make it so easy to spend hundreds to thousands of dollars suddenly? I'll go ahead and give you a tip here. If I was a bank and one of my, I'm going to say customer, that's probably not the right word, probably technically client, I suddenly see 5 $100 charges on his account for multiple locations in the country, I'm going to ask questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
If suddenly, if I was a bank and suddenly someone who's never participated in a game has suddenly purchased from Epic $500 fucking worth of shit off their store and multiple fucking $1 to $10 purchases, I'm probably calling the card holder and be like, yo, do you know about this?
Yo, is this you?
Was this you? Because this all happened in like a week span, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean,
and there are banks I know that's how a lot of these parents found out, was like, no, I didn't authorize this, what the fuck? And the bank's like, well, we can't do a chargeback legally because of the way the contract's fucking worded.
Yeah, we can't charge them back.
We can't do a merchant chargeback because Epic, you'll have to take it up with them and get them to accept the merchant chargeback. They've already refused it. And Epic's like, nah, we'll give you your money back, but we're banning your account.
Yeah, we're banning you. You're not allowed to shop here anymore. Go somewhere else.
At which point, what happens there is, it's not, oh, the account's banned, whatever. It's, Mommy, why can't I play Fortnite anymore? All my friends fucking hate me now.
Yeah.
That's what it becomes.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I hate to say it, but you're actually... I hate to be the meme, think of the children, but in this case, they're right.
What?
But then again, just maybe, when you when you make a purchase for your child, you shouldn't save the credit card information to the system.
Yeah.
Just saying, maybe a possibility.
Yeah, that too.
Because most of you fuckers are not over 50. So I know your ass has used a computer for at least 20 years. At least.
Yeah, bare minimum.
And you know how a store works. I'm not going to sit here and say that Epic Games are scot-free and the parents are to blame. I am saying Epic Games is full of a bunch of fucking devious garbage that parents need to fucking watch out for.
Yeah.
And it's not just Epic Games. When you introduce your child to any medium and allow them unrestricted access to your credit card, congratulations, they're gonna use it.
Yeah. You've opened...
Before Epic Games, they were just buying porn online.
Yeah, congratulations, you've opened Pandora's box. Deal with the consequences.
Bingo.
And here's the thing.
And yes, I get it. As a parent, you can't be like, no, you could, but you're not going to be like, no, you can't play Fortnite.
I mean,
But all my friends are playing it and I want to. No, you can't do it because they're going to inevitably do it anyways.
Right. And that is sort of the double-edged sword of parenting, right? It's like,
yeah.
If you say no, even well-intentioned no, they're gonna
the best
still...
intentions are fucking irrelevant based off against peer pressure.
Yeah, peer pressure always wins.
Yes.
Sorry, it does.
Sadly.
Peer pressure will always win. And speaking of banks, bruh, do you have any idea, before we wrap this show up, do you have any idea what I had to go through to buy a Steam Deck?
Did your bank be like, no, fuck you?
Do you have any idea the kind of lengths I had to go through to purchase a Steam Deck? I really need you to understand the length I had to go through. Okay, so it's Wednesday morning, right? I'm getting ready to go to work, and I'm like, I'm gonna order my Steam Deck now, get that out the way. So I sit down at my desk, I try to order my Steam Deck, declined right off the bat, instantly declined. Now, the money's there, by the way. Trust me, the money is all there. So I'm like, that's a little fucking weird. So I'm like, maybe the information's wrong. I fuck that up sometimes. So I enter my information again, declines again. All right, I'll deal with this later. Fuck it, gotta go to work. Drive to work. I get an automated call from Visa, not my bank, Visa, because my bank card is done by my bank and Visa.
It's done by your bank, but through Visa, like almost every bank card now.
So I get an automated call from Visa, and understand, I tried to make another purchase through somewhere else because I thought maybe it was just blocking Steam. No. They had at the point that I tried to buy the Steam Deck the first time.
You hit your one lump sum limit. I've had this problem before when I went to buy my.
It gets better.
My computer years back.
It gets better.
Oh, it gets better.
It gets better.
Oh.
So. I get the call. I get the automated call, and they're running through the few transactions I tried, and I'm like, "That was me. That was me. That was me. Yes, that was me." So at the end of this automated call, after I verified everything, they're like, "You can use your card as you please." I'm like, "Cool." So I tried to purchase my Steam Deck. Declined again. Okay, cool. So I'm at work, kind of annoyed. Can't purchase anything that I actually wanted. My card still works though, so I can still like buy stuff at my job. I just can't buy the things I want. Okay, I call my bank, and my bank's like, yeah, your card's not blocked, but it looks like Steam Powered Games is listed as fraudulent company on Visa right now, which is why you can't make the purchase that you want to make. They have it listed as fraud. Like, That's
hilarious.
They actually had Steam as a company, because of the purchase I was trying to make, listed as fraudulent. Like, The site itself, anything, I couldn't purchase anything from them at that point in time.
I have to be curious if this was a case of people trolling like fuck.
So
because a lot of times with shit like that, it's an automated system.
yeah. So then my bank is like, okay, well, we'll send Visa an email. I'll send the person an email, and they should have it unblocked pretty quickly because it was early. It was still pretty early in the morning. So later on the day, try again. It goes through.
Nope.
No,
it did.
It went through. They took care of it. But then,
I'm sorry, I work in tech. The moment an email gets brought up, I'm like, oh fuck, that's not happening for like a week.
Oh no, they got it done like fairly quickly. But again, I was just like, guys. Oh, and as far as the purchasing limit goes, I did run into this once. I was at a Micro Center. I was buying a TV and a few other things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the purchasing amount was over $1,500. All right, for everything. It was like $1,700. I go to buy it. It doesn't go through. Oh no, it does go through, but it doesn't go through for the whole amount. It goes through for $1,500, and then it won't go for any more. That's all my card will let me charge. So I call my bank. Right? I'm like, hold up, let me call my bank. And the bank person tells me, oh, there's a spending limit on debit card that won't let you spend any more than $1,500 on a single transaction. And I'm like, okay.
That's what I run into before.
I'm like, okay, but I'm here. Like, I am him. Like, like this isn't an online transaction. I'm at the store. So she's like, okay, I'll put you on hold. I'll see if I can get this figured out. So she's like, all right, I raised your limit. They raised it to the exact amount I needed for the transaction. Yes, yeah, you heard me. They raised it to the exact amount I needed for the transaction so I could make this purchase and not a penny higher. That's whatever the total transaction amount was, that's what they get at. That's what they raised my limit to. Just to that, no higher.
That's honestly incredible.
Yeah, that fucking annoyed me because they're like, "Oh, well, we don't let people do that because 9 times out of 10 when they ask for when they make purchases that big, it's fraud." I'm like, okay, that's reasonable, but
yeah, that's reasonable. I appreciate the protections you have put in place to make sure that fraud is less likely to happen.
I'm like, okay,
and that if my card and or identity was stolen, that someone would not be able to purchase a higher amount than this. But I'm currently trying to purchase a higher amount than this. Fix it.
Yeah, I'm like, I am him. I'm there. And like, is this an online purchase? I'm like, no, I am at the store. And they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm in line.
I'm gonna be real. At that point, is this an online purchase? If it was, fuck you. I'm saying let it through.
It was, fuck you. I'm still trying to buy.
I am personally accepting responsibility. I know this call is recorded, so I insert name here. Am personally authorizing this purchase regardless of consequences and will not claim for a chargeback, or you have the right to deny it.
Right. So
like
the amount of hoops I had to go through to buy a Steam Deck was just, but apparently I'm not the only one. There were people I know who tried to buy a Steam Deck and their bank also blocked it.
Yeah, that's why. Well, you said it apparently was an issue with Visa. Visa puts out a lot
of debit cards.
Of different banks' debit cards.
Yeah.
Because your debit card doubles as a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very, very, very common because it allows the card to be run as credit instead of just debit, which is just simpler for the system as a whole.
Yeah.
So if Visa is blocking that, then it doesn't matter what bank it is. If the bank is using a Visa card, Visa blocked it.
Yeah, Visa stopped it, and Visa has stopped.
That's why I'm like, I'm kind of curious because depending on when you tried to purchase that, it may have been a case of you tried to purchase it somewhat early on, and people decided to be shitheels and report Steam as fraud.
No, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh wow, I'm surprised it was that recent then.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
My only guess is that something else had happened and Steam got reported for fraud by a bunch of people, and they have to hash that out with Visa fully.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh no, they have that company listed as a fraudulent website." And I'm like, "Okay, I understand that." But
It makes me curious, like, how many sites you could get listed as fraudulent websites. If it is an automated system, just like get Epic Games transaction server for Fortnite listed as a fraudulent website. Even if you did say you got that for an even a day,
mhm.
the amount of loss Epic Games would see
Oh yeah, for like a
is be
day, for
hilarious.
like a
They
day.
would care. They would care.
Yeah, for like a day, like Visa just happens to have
Visa just says no.
Visa's like, "No, Fortnite's fraud. We're not no. Fortnite has to fix it." So like for an entire day nobody purchases anything. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I went through. And to Steam's credit, that the Steam Deck came in very quickly. I ordered it on
Yeah.
a Wednesday. I had it the next week on a Tuesday.
Damn, that's pretty quick.
Well, they said 1 to 2 weeks. I was expecting closer to 2 weeks, not 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said 1 to 2 weeks. I wasn't expecting it to be in the 1 week category. Anyways,
I mean,
everybody.
credit where it's due. Steam usually holds its word. Usually.
Yeah, when it comes to them delivering a physical product, I've heard
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about the Index, despite its cost. But again, if you're buying an
Yeah.
Index, you know what you're getting. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, if you're investing in an Index, you're not a casual. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something
Yeah.
a casual VR user is buying. That's not an item for a casual market. You're not no casual, no one who just wants to dip their foot into VR is buying an Index. They're buying like a Quest or something. They're not
Yeah.
buying a fucking Index. That's just not a thing. Unless they just have money to burn. But if you have that much money to burn, I have other questions. I'm just going to throw that out there. As always, everybody, hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Turn-Based Cynics. As you guys know, we're on a multitude of different platforms, ranging from Apple, Google, and Spotify. Had to remember the last one there. Shit. And as always, there will be a video podcast of the show, but not this week, because this week is purely audio for reasons. And that will also be available on YouTube. As always, hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you've enjoyed this lovely show. Soul, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. These last two shows, very, very different spin on the show. I'll tell you that much.
Been nice talking with you. Hopefully, people have enjoyed.
It's been a very different spin for the show than I ever would have expected. Despite the fact that both weeks have been very news light, for what I might be used to for this show. But you know what, man? Fuck it. It's been fun. As always, everybody, hope you all have a fantastic new year. And just a fantastic week in general. And game on, everybody. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Oh, shit. Fuck.